I call this meeting to order at 6:02 PM. Please join me and rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On to item number 3, roll call. When I say your name, please say here or present. Commissioner Bermudez,
Second.
Commissioner Dandel,
Here.
Commissioner Diakova,
Here.
Commissioner Gill,
Yeah.
Commissioner Garcia. Absent. Commissioner Ortega,
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez. Here. Commissioner Salah.
Here.
Commissioner Fan.
Here.
Commissioner Avondale. Here.
Yourself.
And Commissioner Newman. Here. On to item number 4, Secretary's report.
Yes, so the meeting packet, was published on September 5th, 2025. Oh, quick approval of the minutes?
On to item number 5, the approval of minutes. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes from August 25th, 2025?
Okay, and before we get a motion, I just want to let everyone know, because we're still new to this. So in your meeting packet, after the agenda, is the minutes from the previous meeting. So take a look at it. What are you looking for? You're looking for anything that might be incorrect. Maybe if the motion passes 11-0-0, but we know this didn't happen, but I'm just, for instance, say, you had dissented. And so it should have been 10-1-0. So things like that. So just look for any inaccuracies. And if you don't see any, someone can make a motion and then you can get a second.
Awesome. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes from August 25th, 2025?
I'll motion to approve the minutes from August. Oh, I'm not right, John. I'll motion to approve the minutes of August 25th, 2025.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye, starting from Commissioner Bendel to all the way to the right. Aye.
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 Okay, so the vote passes with a vote of 9-0.
Are we missing two? I think we're
10-0?
just- 10-0. And then who seconded? Was it Commissioner Diakova?
Next is item number 6, introductions.
There are none for today.
On to item number 7, public comment on items not on the agenda.
I do not have any other comments. And just so everyone knows, so for example, if there is someone who's sitting down, who's not on the commission, and they want to report on an item that hopefully is relevant to the youth commission, they have an opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes, so I would time them, and then they can talk about why this issue is important or how it affects the youth commission. And then you just listen. There is a factual question where you need to ask, you can, but you're really not supposed to engage, because it's obviously not on the agenda. If it's not on the agenda, it becomes a violation, and you talk about something, it becomes a violation of the Brown Act. So it's basically you just kind of listen. If it might be something that you want to take up at a future meeting, you certainly can consider agendizing it for a future meeting. But anyway, so I just want to make you aware, because at some point during the school year, we will probably have a public comment, and I want you to be familiar with the process works.
On to item number 8, new business, item 8.1, treasurer's report for the youth commission as of September 1st, 2025. Yeah, report.
Treasurer Avondale, do you want to take it?
Alright, so starting 2024, our main money was spending, $264 on the youth commission trips for last year. After that, the only thing we really spent was in March and February for, the Opportunity Fair, which were thank you baskets, advertising flowers, gift cards for the attendees, and snacks. So in total, we spent, last year we have now $294. And now I believe we got another $550, correct?
Hold on one sec. So for everyone's clarification, Treasurer Abenday is reading or looking at the commission budget. And that's in your meeting packet too. It's in that same report. So you should be looking at this worksheet. Okay, so currently the commission has a balance of $294.51. Now, this past budget cycle, we talked about this at the last meeting. The previous the previous commission had made some requests. They were seeking additional monies for the Opportunity Teen Fair to host it, to host an intergenerational dance. We're gonna talk about both those items momentarily. And then also, this is what Treasurer Avenue was talking about, there was also $550 set aside for youth commission apparel. So last year, the commission spent how much on t-shirts?
$264.
Okay, so you have twice as much to spend this year on apparel, which means you could get sweatshirts if you want. So, but it's up to you. You don't have to spend it all, but just knowing that it is there, that's available. So you have that much for that line item. Anything else that you want to add?
I think that's it. I would like to add that one of our main, biggest purchases for the Opportunity Teen Fair was our lunch for the vendors, and the gift cards were relatively low with $20.
Yes, the Opportunity Teen Fair, I think we had estimated it cost a nice few $100s to run, which is why, actually, we ended up, I think, figuring it cost about $1,000, which is a little more or less than how much you actually received. But you do actually have an event that's coming up that is gonna spend even more money than that. That is, of course, the intergenerational dance, which we will talk about soon. So the treasurer's report, according to the bylaws, only needs to be reported on 3 times during the term. So this is the first time. And then Treasurer Abenday will be keeping track of how much money is being spent out of each of these accounts. So for example, when the t-shirts are being spent, or I'm sorry, the apparel is being spent, he'll deduct it from the second budgeted line item. So you see it says apparel up at the top, and then there's $550, which is the balance. So if you end up spending $450, how much do you have left? $100, yeah, so pretty simple. The Opportunity Teen Fair, same thing, you have $1,150 to spend, and then, for that one, there'll be several line items. So we want to keep track every time you spend it, so you don't overspend. And then the same thing with intergenerational dance. So anytime there's a purchase made, Treasurer Avenay is going to be aware of it, and then he'll record it on the spreadsheet, and then he'll report it back out. I think the next time will be in December.
Is there any public comment on the treasurer's report for the youth commission as of September 1st, 2020?
There's nothing, okay.
On to item number 8.2, discussion of,
Oh, wait, do you want to ask, are there any questions from the commission?
is there any questions regarding the or regarding the treasurer report for the youth commission as of September 1st, 2025? Great, okay. We'll move on to item number 8.2, discussion of the fiscal year 2026 youth commission work plan.
Okay, staff report, that's me. All right, so, we spent some time on this at the last meeting. So this is gonna be the last thing in your packet. Discussion of fiscal year 26 youth commission work plan. And for those of you who are not aware, fiscal year is different from calendar year. Calendar year is obviously January to December. Fiscal year starts in July and ends in June. So it's still 12 months. It's just that it starts and ends at different times of the year. And for your purpose, that's important because that is the length of the current term. So these are the 6 items that you are responsible for carrying out this year. As I mentioned earlier, the commission voted on this and it was approved by the city council during the previous term. I'm gonna turn it back to Chair Nguyen, who's gonna go over these items.
Okay. So as you can see, there are 6 items. I'll briefly run through them all. The first one is identify a legislative issue that impacts youth and teens of Gilroy or community at large. Commissioner Gifford, would you like to talk about the legislative issue?
So like I kind of explained at the last meeting, we focused on one particular flower. And it was where our main overall goal was to have like an environmental legislative issue, but I know in the past, like Adam mentioned, there's been the youth center proposed for Gilroy. So it's just like a committee of a few of the members that get together, brainstorm an issue, and then they work to research and propose it to the city council at the end of the year.
So as Commissioner Ortega said, it can be any legislative issue and it is up to the committee that's assigned for the committee of the commissioners who choose to be doing the legislative issue that'll help decide and bring some ideas of what we're gonna choose as a youth commission. On to item number 2 of the fiscal year, participate in the community cleanup day. So there's 2 for this year. One is this coming up very soon, and then another one is next year.
Yeah, and just to add to that, so I'm part of the recreation division, and we sponsor 2 citywide creek cleanup days every year. One is actually coming up September 20th, Saturday, from 9 to 12 at Christmas Hill Park. We meet at Solorzano Middle School. We can get community service hours. And we usually tend to get a lot of high school students because they need community service hours. We also get like Girl Scouts, and we just get residents who want to help clean up Christmas Hill Park. There is a ton of garbage, and we provide the grabbers that you probably have seen before, gloves, bags, everything you would need. We provide snacks, water, things like that, so that you're able to go out and clean up. You can go there for an hour, you can go there for 3 hours. It's totally up to you. There are other cleanup days during the year. They're a lot smaller. These tend to be the more larger events. So if the commission is interested, let's see if we can get a group of people who want to go, or if you want to go on your own with your friends or family, you're more than welcome to. I know this one that's coming up on the 20th is only a couple weeks away. So if commission doesn't want to do something formal, that's fine. For this one, maybe the one in May, we could try to see if we can get everyone to go to, and maybe you wear your shirt or your sweatshirt or whatever it is. So everyone knows like, oh, the youth commission's here.
Great, on to item number 3 on the work plan, which is organize and host an intergenerational dance at the senior center. That dance I think is coming up in November.
Correct, yeah, so I think I mentioned it last time, so Friday, November 21st, make sure it's on your calendar. We're gonna have the dance here at the senior center. We are going to need a committee for that, because the planning is gonna start really right after this meeting. So this is a committee that should be interested in decorations, selecting the music, the food, what type of food do you want to serve? And then kind of like maybe there's a theme to it besides just the whole intergenerational component to it. Maybe it's like an aloha thing, maybe it's a fall thing since it's in November. And probably at some point too, we can bring in the seniors who have their own committees, and they'll probably wanna meet you in advance and talk about how the event should be run and things like that. We're gonna have a DJ, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But the committee is gonna be busy, meeting in between these regular meetings and then reporting out at the October meeting and at the November meeting, since at the end of the month.
Awesome. On to item number 4 of the work plan, which is support breakfast with Santa, and that is going to be during Christmas break and then also in Thanksgiving. So Christmas break is for, I believe, DECA students because I'm under,
Wait, are you talking about breakfast with Santa?
oh, yeah, support breakfast with Santa.
Yes,
Oh,
that's only one day.
That's for the tech, my bad. I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
okay.
On to item number 5, which is assist seniors with their.
Wait, do you wanna talk about, hold on, do you wanna go back to number
Yeah.
4 then?
Yeah, so Breakfast with Santa is an event every single year, an annual event that we do in December. And that's also hosted at the senior center, and we basically serve breakfast to the seniors during the morning, and that's.
Well, not seniors, so this is more like a young families, with young kids, some of you may have gone when you were really young, we have a Santa Claus here. They come eat breakfast, and then we have crafts, and that's actually where the youth commission comes in. Commissioner Sarah, do you wanna talk, you were there last year, I think, right?
At the,
Breakfast with Santa,
yeah.
what did the youth commission do?
We pretty much like made like. We had like tiny booths where we like, where we like had like little things set up where people could come and like decorate cookies or, make like a little like toy, like ornament, and then, I don't remember much, but there's a bunch of people there, and we pretty much just like help the kids like make the ornament or make the, or help them decorate or, yeah. That's pretty much what we did.
Commissioner Avenay, do you wanna add to it?
Yeah, we also mainly just helped set up for the people doing it, like we helped set up the tables, get everything ready. We did some wrapping, I think we also did like some, I don't know if it was origami or a toy thing that he was talking about, but yeah, we basically just made a bunch of things for the kids, helped them make it. We made, I think, cookies, like he said, yeah.
Great.
So that will be an event that we all can participate in, at the start of December. And then on to item number 5 on the work plan, which is assist seniors with their technological devices, and that was the one that I mentioned. That would take place during Thanksgiving break, and or Christmas break for those who get out earlier. Because the senior center will be open then, so until Christmas break for the regular GUSD students. And then on to item
Wait,
number.
hold on one sec, I'm sorry, so, I think all 4 of you did it last year, do one of you wanna talk about, just reiterate what it's about?
So basically it's around holiday time, so there's a lot of seniors who need help with their devices, their new devices. Basically, if there's any problem that you can imagine, a lot of it is just like figuring out how to like add contacts and stuff. There are some ones that are a little more challenging, but overall it's pretty base level stuff. You're not gonna have to like fix anything. And you can always just like refer them to another person there that might know how to do it. And we basically just sat there for like 45 minutes and helped with any questions that they had.
Yeah, so, Chair Nguyen was saying how during Thanksgiving break, so at least for Gilroy Unified School District, they're out the whole week, but the senior center is actually runs until that Wednesday, so there's 3 days right there where there's an opportunity for you to, come down to the senior center, and it's usually, I think it starts around 10, goes to about 11. And then we set you up with a table, some chairs, and then the seniors will literally start lining up. And then we'll sit them down, and then, you'll start helping them with their device. It could be something as simple as how do you send a text message? So it really is pretty basic stuff, but for them, not so much.
I know we talked about in a previous meeting, getting more time or more days, was that ever?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanna start earlier, I think that, so instead of starting at 10, cause technically it opens at 9. So maybe we start at 9:30 this year, go to 9:30 to 11, for those of you who are able to stay that duration. Yeah, so, as we get closer, I'll send out the dates and we can have signups, cause usually it's like about 3 or 4 people per shift or per day.
Also, I was wondering, a lot of the seniors were talking to us about whether we'd be there like after Christmas, because usually Christmas. So I was wondering, is there any days where the GSD and GECA schedule doesn't overlap with the?
Yeah, I was just talking about that with Chair Nguyen. So I mentioned Thanksgiving. So I know GECA gets out in like early mid-December, right before the break that GUSD, because the break that GUSD gets out is the same time that we're closed. So in December, that is. But for GECA, you guys can come earlier. Now, you talk about after the holidays. I don't know, how long's your break, do you know?
I think our break got shorter.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
If you're going back right after that first week in January.
We have
then-
like 2.5 weeks. I think.
Well, the other thing is, are there days where you get like a day off, like a staff development day?
Not really, not at GECA. There's,
Oh.
our school doesn't do staff development days that often, like
Okay.
maybe twice a year. At most.
Gotcha. Oh, like the February break? Do you guys have a February break?
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, you don't get that? Okay, because that's always a good one, because the senior center is still going, but some of you who go to junior USD schools are out, and then, of course, spring break in April. Do you get that?
Yeah, we get spring break.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be a different week too, so.
We also get off in May, so if there's anything in the
Oh.
beginning of June.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone should have an opportunity to help. It's actually really,
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's President's Day, so I don't think they're open, but, we're open on, we don't have school on February 13th and 16th.
okay, so I'm looking, so the 16th is the holiday, so we're
Yeah.
closed, but the 13th would be great.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
so it's just not, whenever there's like holidays that schools also don't, the senior center is also closed.
yeah, so. I don't, yeah, actually, I don't know, I don't think we're closed on, I'm just looking at the days off that. Well, Veterans Day we're closed, but. Okay, at the next meeting, we'll go over some possible dates, you guys can start signing up for which ones you want to do.
On to item number 6 of the work plan, which is organize and host the opportunity fair. So last year, we also had a commission or a committee for the opportunity fair, and we worked to collect vendors, we worked to set up the space in the gym. I think the building is like 2 buildings down from here. And we also organized gift baskets for the vendors as well, so there was a lot of outreach to see who would like to attend and join us for the opportunity fair to reach out to students. So with all of the items on our youth commission work plan, we're going to need committees for item number 1, 3, and 6, which is a legislative issue, and then the second one, which is the intergenerational dance at the senior center coming up in November, and the 6th, which is organized and host opportunity fair. So, Adam, do you?
Yeah, so, just to kind of add to what Chair Nguyen was saying, so remember how we talked about, you can't have too many commissioners on a committee, right? Because it's not a meeting. And when you're on a committee, it also means that you're going to be meeting outside of these monthly meetings. And typically we would meet here, if you're in the legislative group. I think you also met at the library, or no, or did you always meet here?
I think there was like one I didn't go to, but most of the time we were here.
Okay, yeah, and then, we would have, obviously, we schedule it in advance, and then, you will be just talking about that, you won't talk about anything else, and then at the following meeting, regular meeting, someone will report back about what was discussed and here are some ideas. Now, like, for example, for the legislative idea, they may throw out 3 or 4 ideas and ask the commission to choose one. As the one that they'll focus on for the year. So that's kind of the kind of work that would happen in the committee. For the intergenerational dance, as I mentioned earlier, since it's only 2 months away, which seems like a long time, but it's not, the planning needs to start. So they're gonna go, so then the next meeting in October, they'll probably have already met at least once, if not twice, and start to kind of go over like, okay, here's what we need the commissioners to do, here's what we're thinking of doing, how does this sound, get some feedback, and then you'll follow up with another committee meeting. So that committee will need to meet, you know, as soon as perhaps next week. And then the other one was the Opportunity Teen Fair. That event is not until March. And last year, I was telling Chair Nguyen earlier, you know, they started meeting in January. But I don't think that was enough time. I think they really should have met before the holiday because it seemed like we just didn't have enough time to get as many vendors as we could have, I think. So that one probably won't start meeting until November or even December, but the ones that I think you should focus in terms of, you could be on the Opportunity Teen Fair committee, but just know that you're probably not gonna start meeting until, say, November or so. And you can still support the other committees, whatever they ask of you, you know, things like that.
Would we like to decide or brainstorm which committee we would like to do?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yes.
I have a question, since the intergenerational dance, that's gonna be pretty soon. Do you think that maybe like, cause if there's a committee for that, it's gonna be relatively quickly over, maybe like. They could also work on the legislative issue, cause I know that did take like some time, but a majority of the work was on the after.
Yes, yes, that's a good point. I thought you were actually gonna say the Opportunity Teen Fair, because if you recall, there were multiple committees for that one. There's marketing, there's recruiting vendors, and then there is getting donations and then setup, things like that. And since that would probably start in late November, early December, it actually, you know, you could theoretically also be involved in that committee as well. Or at least a subcommittee, right? Because you'll have probably 2 committees just for that event. But to answer your question, yes. Yes, so the key is we don't want to have more than 5 people in the committee.
Mhm.
So that's the magic number. We also don't want to have any less than 3. So we want to make sure these committees are reasonably balanced in terms of numbers. It'd also be great too for the returning commissioners to disperse and be on different committees, so to kind of, you know, provide some leadership and also a point of reference. Because even though you weren't involved, say, with the intergenerational dance, you still kind of have an idea of what it probably entail based on the previous events that have been done.
Is it possible to have a committee and then have subcommittees in it?
Yes, and we did that for Opportunity Teen Fair.
So then would it be possible to have like more than 5 people in a committee and then make subcommittees?
Yes,
Because I was thinking, based off of what Commissioner Ortega said, we could focus on the intergenerational dance first until November, and then split up into subcommittees. And then after November, once the dance is over, we'll work on the legislative issue and then the Opportunity and Fair, and like split up in half so we can have more people to work on the.
I will say, and Commissioner Ortega, be interested to hear your feedback, because I think you're the only one here who was on the legislative committee, is your committee spent a significant amount of time on that. I want to say a nice, like, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, but I feel like a majority of the research was like, it was pretty like slow at first. We were just figuring out what we wanted to do and then beginning to do like a little bit of research. it was really until like after we started in the new year, that we actually, like, the work ramped up. So that's why I was kind of thinking, since like opportunity and the legislative committee kind of ramp up around the same time. I think that either of them could handle that generational dance.
Okay, well, I will defer to you, however, the commission wants to operate. Now, if you want to split up into subcommittees, so you don't exceed that 5 number for the, intergenerational dance, that's fine, you know, there are 10 of you tonight, and we're gonna have another one next week. So we'll have 11 ultimately. So the other thing is the t-shirt design. We wanna get started on that because we wanna be able to wear your shirt, your sweatshirt, whatever you decide, a polo, a hat and a t-shirt, for the intergenerational dance. And believe it or not, it could take a few weeks to arrive, so.
Do we want it based off the legislative issue this year, or are we just doing whatever we believe is the best option?
It's up to you, but I just wanna just put that out there.
Is there a particular, like, item that would cost more? So like, would hats cost more than sweatshirts or shirts? So we can like see if we have enough money to spend on what things.
Yeah, I think when we determined the amount, it was based on like a sweatshirt. So a t-shirt is a lot less. I mean, again, look how much you spent last year. So you probably could do, if you wanted to, it's up to you, you could do a t-shirt and a hat. It has to be cost out, we can report back on that. But yeah, I think you can do probably a sweatshirt. Does the sweatshirt have a hood, not a hood? You know, those are the kinds of things where it could change how much the cost is.
I just can't see myself wearing a sweatshirt. Cause it gets pretty hot, like, cause you were talking about like the trash pickup, and is it in May?
Yeah, there's one in May and there's one in September. So that's something that you need to keep, you know, think about, you know, maybe it's just a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
You know, that's another option too. So there's lots of different things you can go about.
Do you remember how much it costed, like, I think, like, 4 years ago when they had the little, the jacket with the youth commission on it?
I don't know. And plus too, you know, prices are probably a little bit more now than they were then. But in terms of the math, I mean, we had 11 people, $265 for those t-shirts. I mean, you're already, so that includes, you know, shipping and every taxes and stuff. So I mean, was that 20-ish dollars person, 22, 23. So that's just a t-shirt. So a sweatshirt is probably gonna be somewhere in the 40-ish range. Long sleeve shirt will probably be in the 30-ish range.
And, could we pay for it for ourselves? So we could like kind of like bring the budget a little higher. Because I know a couple of people here that might pay for it also.
Well, you do have $550. So, what I would do is maybe someone or 2 people, if they want, they could go do some research and then come back at the next meeting and say, okay, this is how much this would cost. This is how much this would cost, and then you guys can make an educated decision, you know, rather than just us kind of, speculating.
Would anyone like to be in charge of, doing research of what type of apparel we would like to choose? Okay. Commissioner Soroff and Commissioner Abende. Take in charge of that, and then also would, any of us like to design the design that we'll use for the apparel? You want to help us out? Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then Adam, would you like that to be ready by the next meeting in November?
So the next meeting would be in October.
Oh, in October, sorry.
Yes, oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, and I think for the design people, maybe coming up with 3 types of designs. And then the apparel folks coming up with, multiple options, you know. This type of t-shirt, or, you know, this type of long sleeve shirt, or. You know, if we get this, we can also get this, but if we get this, we can't get this, that type of thing, so different options. We could talk more offline,
And would we like to discuss on the intergenerational dance and creating or like a committee and subcommittees within it? So I was thinking, we could have like, would we need a marketing committee for that? Or would it be more like,
the only reason I hesitate is we kind of have a built-in audience at the senior center.
Okay.
So, you know, now we would definitely need someone maybe to design a flyer.
okay.
So if that's marketing, you know,
Would we also need additional volunteers too? Like we could send out forms to the high schools to see if anyone would like to volunteer at the event, or do you think that our commission is enough to take on?
look at, I think. I would say, let me get back to you on that. Because if we have too many volunteers, then people are standing around doing nothing, you know, but, cause there are 11 of you, so that's a pretty good amount. And by the way, volunteering is not just, you know, clearing plates, serving food, it's, you know, it's dancing, you know, with the seniors and doing some games with them and things like that, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the subcommittees of like having a decoration subcommittee? And then having one in charge of like the food, or what vendors we wanna bring in for the food, and then another one for like activities. And creating activities for the seniors and games, and then like music and things in that realm.
Yeah, I would say, just based on what you just said, I think you could do like 2 committees. So maybe combine decorations and food
Okay.
as a committee, and then activity, games and music. Well, activities and games are probably the same thing, but,
Mhm.
And music as another committee, so there's probably enough for 2 committees there.
So would it be 5 and then 6 in each,
No.
or
no.
would it be?
Well, first of all, we've already have a few people who are gonna be working on the t-shirts.
Oh,
So not to say that they can't participate in these other ones, but maybe start with people who haven't, so let's see, there's 10 of you here, 4 of you have already. Are in the t-shirt, committees, so maybe the other 6 can decide which committee they wanna join, and then if we have any additional interest for someone who's already been chosen to be one of those committees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just asked, who would like to do the first committee, which is in charge of decoration and food, as in like the remaining 6 things? Would anybody else like to? Yeah,
Well, you know, I didn't get the hands,
oh
so,
no, you're
anyone else? Okay, that's okay for right now.
good. And then for the second committee, which is games,
Games and music,
right, the rest of us 4 will be in charge of that.
and who's that, so that's.
Adam, I can actually do the first committee, the decoration and food, so it'll be like 3 and
Okay.
3.
And then? Okay, oh, that actually works, cause it's, 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And then. Do any of the t-shirt people wanna join one of these 2 committees? You don't have to, but if you want to. Oh, so it's decoration and food and games and music.
I'd like to join decoration,
This is for the intergenerational dance.
Yeah.
Friday, November 21st.
I'd like to join decoration and food.
Okay, and then, anybody else wanna join the games and music? No? Okay, that's okay. Okay, good. This is a good step. Okay, so you want me to read this back? So for the T-shirt design, Commissioner, what's it? Bendel. And Sanchez for design. For the different apparel options, Commissioner Sarah and Treasurer Abernay. And then for decorations, we have Commissioner and Food, Chair Nguyen, Commissioner Ortega, Treasurer Abernay, and Commissioner Diakova. And then for games and music, Commissioners Gill, Bermudez, and Barris.
Yes. Would anyone like to make any other comments regarding the work plan?
Opportunity. Legislative.
I would hold off on for opportunity at this point. Yeah, and then legislative. It's up to you guys. If you guys want, to form that committee right today, you could wait until October to do it. We had talked about doing it right after the intergenerational dance.
Yeah, so. I was maybe thinking like brainstorming for that, but doing like actual work, like after.
Okay. What if, and it's just an idea, the commission just starts thinking of possible legislative issues and then reporting back if you have one or two or three at the next meeting.
Okay, after that.
Yeah, and so past issues, Commissioner Ortega talked about, the flower, the Loma Prieta flower, which is an endangered species. Another one was, establishing a youth center here in Gilroy, which there is one. I'm trying to think of the ones, remember we did some research about what other cities do?
Yeah,
There was one, they did a designation of like a mental health day for teens. So they brought in like therapists, they brought in people who specialize, it was almost like a mental health fair kind of. And so teens would come and then they would learn about different ways of, coping with stress or, how to live a healthier lifestyle. And so that was just another example as a city, I forgot which city did it, but, so if you actually Google Youth Commission and, legislative issues or youth commissions and social issues, you're gonna get a lot of ideas from that as well. So from all over the country, not just in the Bay Area.
Okay, so we'll all work to brainstorm ideas that we have and then we'll talk about it at our next meeting in October.
Yes.
Yes. Next, or does anybody have any other comments? Great, on to item number 9, old business.
There's none.
On to item number 10, which is staff or commission comments.
After the meeting, I'd like to meet kind of with each group and we'll figure out a time to meet. Like I said, some groups may want to meet next week, others could, we can wait till the end of the month. But I'd like to meet with each group before the next meeting. So again, you have something to report out.
Okay, call this meeting over at, I don't know.
6:46.
At 6:46, yeah.